Welcome to another cycle of Dirty Laundry Clean Confessions, a family podcast created for the next generation. Grandma Smarg can't wait to see what you'll become, Monk and Little Al. Live, pre-recorded from our family laundry room, with Smarg, Haas, and sometimes Otter, and always not the real guest. Here we hang it on the line with everyday ordinary people who are doing extraordinary things. In the room where famous people are loved, adored, and admired, however, not invited, except for the great Willie Nelson, of course. Thanks for joining us in the laundry room while we fold through life's journeys. Here, we're keeping it real, washing through stains, and making colors a little bit brighter. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Season 2.
We are so excited. Yay. We're all here.
We're back and better than ever.
Oh, absolutely. We learned so much over the summer.
Yeah, and season 1 went so quick, and now I can't believe we're already on season 2.
Yeah, so
crazy.
Exciting. We have so many fun things to talk about.
I know.
And we decided for the first episode of season 2, we're going to talk about Otter's summer. We're going to talk about Haas's summer, and Smarg, will talk about my summer.
Yeah.
And I think we're starting out with, we can't forget about our clean confessions. You got one. You got one.
I have a bit of a confession. I just feel like, you're so amped for summer. You're so ready. I know exactly when summer starts. Got my summer attire already out from their bins. I'm ready to go. Sun's out, guns out, ready for the pool. And I just dread when it ends. So I think mentally I just don't even know when it technically ends.
When does fall really start?
Right. You know, and I think I love autumn. I love fall. It is my favorite season. It's Smarg's favorite season of the year.
I think it might be mine too.
I must say, I don't really hear about is it an equinox? The equinox for autumn, or
it's like
is that
the
just
harvest? I guess.
Oh, is it
right?
the harvest? So the equinox is maybe the summer.
Well, you have your winter equinox, which is like around December 21st.
Okay, so that's
your
winter.
Summer equinox, which is like June 21st.
So I see. Your autumn.
Spring is like March 2021st.
Okay.
It's always like the 2021st.
But I have to say, I am with you there. There's another confession from me as well.
Yeah. I don't know if I just dread it and I just don't try not to think about the day, because I do love summer so much, and when it ends, I love fall too.
Maybe
but I'm
that's
just
it. I know.
Well,
I
just want to drag it on,
It's
Yeah,
confusing
we don't
too,
wanna know.
right? Because I know different states do it differently, but here in Colorado, we go back to school in August, which it's still like 90 degrees, way too hot to be going back to school. And then you have Labor Day,
Way
which is
too
the
hot
first
to
week of September. And it's still technically not fall.
Well, there's Willie Nelson. They didn't let us down.
There's our executive producers.
Yep. Yes. So speaking of Willie and Nelson, our little executive producers, we did lose a family member, pet. This summer we lost little Olive. She's 13 years old, and she had a great life, and she was just a terrific dog.
Yeah.
And I can honestly say it happened really quick, and I don't feel she was in a lot of pain. So
We love you, Ollie. We miss you.
yep, we're going to miss you, Olive. We really are.
Yeah.
But anyway,
She was the best.
Oh, update.
that was our bummer.
Pup date.
Update, pup date.
Pup date. We are now on YouTube and Facebook. DL Saucy. So don't forget to check us out.
That's right, we are. That's what we did. Thanks to Haas, she put us on YouTube.
On the YouTube.
On the YouTube there.
On the YouTube.
Yeah.
On the BoobTube YouTube.
So go check us out.
Yeah.
We got Haas the boss and Smarg in charge.
Yeah, there you go.
And Otter's just sitting on the water.
Yeah, and Otter's just sitting on the water. And she's growing a little Ottie.
I am.
Yeah.
She's kicking right now as we speak.
Oh,
no.
Aw, we can't wait to meet you, little Ottie.
Gotta be patient. She does this. You feel that?
Did you feel
Oh my
Wow,
God.
I
How
think-
long has she been kicking for now?
Like 4 weeks.
Oh my God.
I think that's little Ottie saying, I approve. I'm kind of liking the podcast. I approve.
Should we put some headphones on your belly?
Yeah, we
So
should.
she
The
can
next
listen
one,
in.
the next one, we'll get it set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she'll know all our voices.
Yeah.
we will. We'll just put. Oh, we will. We'll do that. Anyway, I'm looking forward to season 2.
Yes.
We're going to have some return guests, and we're going to have some brand new guests. Would you like to share, Otter, like a few of the guests that we're looking forward to? Or
Well, yeah, so we have a lot of guests coming up this season. We have Amanda coming up. We have Dr. Sheeler coming up.
Which Amanda is a Pilates instructor. And she used to be a ballerina?
I believe so.
Yeah. So she's probably got some great topics to talk about.
Dr. Sheeler, I mean, as you can imagine, a wealth of knowledge in the medical field. And I believe
and great stories, too.
Yes.
So that's going to be,
And she has some, like, psilocybin studies, right?
Oh,
that
yeah.
she wants to discuss
she's been looking into. Yeah, and I have a lot of questions about the
so that'll be cool.
therapy they're doing now with psilocybin and that type of thing. I'm very interested.
Yeah, and then we have John coming up with some financial advice, as well as, I believe, he's raising tweens.
Yeah, he wants to talk about tweenies, what it's like in 2023 raising tweenies.
Yeah.
And as we said, we started this whole podcast so that little Alan Monk will kind of be able to get an idea of what it was like on this planet and what people were doing in 2023 when they decided to join us in this world.
So we have those guests, and we probably have many more coming.
We have a few new cycles. We have some new cycles we are going to introduce. We have the skid mark cycle.
Yes.
Stories that have basically left skid marks in your pants.
Yeah.
Scared the shit out of you.
Get right out of you. So we have some skid mark segments that we're going to call skid mark cycles.
Yeah.
And what else do we have? We have another.
Some of our past guests have volunteered to join us again for season 2 as well.
Yeah,
so
to
that'll
answer
be
some
exciting.
questions from our emails.
Yeah.
People did email in some questions to Mama Teef about nutrition.
Oh, can't wait to hear those. So, we have a lot coming up this season. But last season, we left you with, we were about to embark on a bachelorette party.
Yes.
And that went down. So let's kind of talk about that real quick.
That is how we kicked off our summer, guys.
That was the start of our summer and somewhat of our celebration of our season 1 ending. And
Scottsdale, right?
Deal.
Scottsdale.
We went to Scottsdale,
Arizona.
We got a big old house.
Arizona. I don't know where that came from.
Can we just talk about the plane ride though out to Scottsdale?
Oh,
and our friend that we met on the plane.
I forgot about him.
I don't know who wants to tell that story.
Well, this was Smarg's first time on, for a long time. Not first time, but first time for a long time on Southwest Airlines.
Oh.
And while they are a wonderful airline, that loading, I don't know if I'll ever get used to that. So you guys kind of walked me through that, but apparently I was on the plane first. So my job was to secure as many seats as I could
we were
as
with
one person.
10 people.
Yeah.
Right?
At least. There was 12 people at one point at the house. But
Right. 10 people on our flight.
Yeah, 10 people.
So that was my
Smarg,
job. So
Smarg was the only one that got like group A seating. So she was on the front of the line.
And you guys, I got to tell you, just if you have ever group A seating, it's too much pressure. Just give it to somebody else.
Hey, I came to help.
So yep. Haas came in to help, and then I just recruited this guy. I said, "Hey, where are you from?" He said, "Arkansas." And I said, "Okay, Arkansas. Can you help me?" Was it Arkansas? It was.
That sounds right.
Yeah. And I
Okay.
said, "Where is President Clinton from?"
The South. Texas. No, that's Hillary. It doesn't matter.
Where was he governor? Arkansas.
You know what? Otter
You guys
can
should
fact
know.
check that.
Otter's going to fact check that. Oh, you guys, P.S. Speaking of fact check, we did a mistake about a date in season 1, and it was our last episode. And it was when we were talking about how old I am and what year I was born.
Oh, yeah.
So real quick side note, we were incorrect. While I was born the year Summer of Love, which was 1967, Woodstock Festival was not until 1969.
Did I not say Summer of Love 69?
See, this is where you got it confused. Summer of Love is classified as 1967, and that's the movement when the hippies moved into San Francisco, and they were pushing religion and the love of Jesus and their free will of being hippies. And it was a movement that really started in San Francisco, and that was the summer of 1967. So that's classified and known as the historians as the Summer of Love, not to be confused with the Woodstock Summer 1969.
Okay.
Which a lot of love was going on then, too.
For sure.
Absolutely. But I just wanted to correct that because we were incorrect. I was wrong. So
Please note our correction. And
yes.
and my fact checking is, yes, Arkansas for President
Okay, and
Clinton.
what's the name of the city?
Oh, don't ask
Oh,
me
I
that.
thought it was right there. Sorry.
Just the governor
Little
of
Rock.
Arkansas.
Is it Little Rock?
Put her on the
That
put her
sounds
on the
right.
spot.
Anyway,
1979. to
anyway, this is where
19 something or
this is
other.
where Arkansas was from, and
So yeah, we'll call this guy on the plane Arkansas.
we'll call
Yeah.
him Arkansas. And hey, Arkansas, if you're listening, hello.
Miss ya.
So
I think we gave him a few stickers. And
yeah, we
stuff.
gave him a few stickers,
Merch.
and what I really remember about him is he talked a lot about his son Dax, and
Oh, cute.
Well,
seemed like a
and
good
he
dad,
also
so.
seemed to sample quite a bit of our own beverages that we brought on the plane, which was breast milk.
We had a couple of breastfeeding mamas on the
Yeah, and
trip.
I forgot. I
and
totally
we
forgot about
somehow
that.
convinced him to try it, and because we were all actually drinking it. I'm not going to put this guy under the bus. I had a little bit. Someone else
Everyone
had a
had
little bit. Breast milk isn't that gross. We might get some hate email on that, but anyway, this
So
gentleman
I think it
was
started
kind
as a
enough to
dare
amuse
because everyone
us
was
by
on their most mature behavior. They were,
obvious. No, he was a sport. He was willing to amuse us and try it.
and he did help us
he was-
save some seats. So
He
thank you.
also bought us quite a few beverages
He
on the
did.
flight, so he was a gentleman.
Yeah, no, he
Gentleman
was
and a
actually
half.
very kind in that respect. But I just have to say the whole breastfeeding thing continued the entire trip, of course.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite memories from the trip is when I think it was that first night we went to the winery.
It was the first
And
night.
they're hand pumping the breast milk. 3 of these ladies, all into the same
Oh yeah.
same
that's right.
bottle.
I totally. I think I
And
blocked everything out. That's hilarious.
I think we were getting close to leaving anyway, but I don't know. The waiter was being so nice, trying to accommodate us, and he reaches over to give us our check, and then all of a sudden he accidentally dumps all the breast milk on the floor.
and everybody just
right.
went.
There was nothing we could do. We just could watch.
Yeah.
And he just looked like,
And I think he
Oh
was
my
so
God, are
embarrassed.
they-
and
are-
then
are-
he
he's
came over
like,
with towels.
that's
to
a
clean
lot
it.
of work. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh
And-
my God, that's right. I totally forgot.
but
about
very
that.
nice, very nice.
So,
I
yeah.
just wish I could remember the name of the winery. It's there in Scottsdale.
Red Rock or
Arizona.
Desert Rock?
Desert Rock, possibly?
That sounds right.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Shout out to Desert Rock. It was a very nice
Thank
little
you
winery.
for
Yeah, no, it was
accommodating
really
us,
nice.
all of us crazy ladies.
They even brought us snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were
They were so ni-
starving.
yeah,
we
they were
thought
so
there'd be a
nice.
food truck, and there wasn't.
Right.
Then we went to this awesome Mexican restaurant down the street. Like I don't even know how that worked out so well. It was like
Yeah.
a club.
It was like
Slash
a
a
club that
Mexican
you
restaurant.
eat dinner at.
Yeah, it,
Or
it was
Mama Dino's
crazy.
Really good. I
Yeah.
thought it was
Yeah.
really good.
The food was good and the entertainment was good.
Pumping
and
music.
man, the music got good. And
Fancy drinks.
it was,
Mhm.
the very fancy drinks.
Mhm.
And the bill even came in a bird cage.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
And so did a couple drinks.
Yeah.
It was very bird decorated. Lots of birds everywhere.
Love birds.
But it
and
was
then
beautiful.
they like came out with like streamers at one point.
Oh, that's
like,
right.
oh,
For
they were-
birthdays and
They were going after it. It was so fun. That place was awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, so we had a gorgeous house. And then I don't know if anyone has any
Huge.
like good stories from when we were out there, but I have something that resonates with me really well.
we want to hear.
We were on our last night there, and honestly, so because I am carrying a little Otter, I'm not drinking. Actually, I don't drink anyway, but somehow I stayed up later than most people every night. Anyways, everybody was in bed finally, and it was like 3:30 in the morning, and I just hear this pound, 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 pound on our door, the front door, and so me and a couple other ladies go to like check what it is, and it's the police, and it's not even just the
You guys,
Scottsdale police.
it's not the police. It is
like SWAT,
SWAT.
full on like SWAT team. There's
We are
like at
not
least
lying. Full on SWAT. It's written on their backs.
7 or 8
Yeah.
gentlemen.
I think there
very
was
large,
At least
guns.
three vehicles.
Oh yeah, and we're like, and my first thought is like, oh no, what did one of the ladies do?
Yep. Well,
Is someone missing?
that's in my
Probably-
version.
It's
Yeah,
probably
but
gonna be
yeah.
me. if
Yeah,
anything.
well, that's we all were like let's count.
Where's Haas?
I was afraid someone fell asleep outside by the pool and drowned. I don't know. I had all these thoughts going through my head. But then they informed us that there was actually like a robbery a couple houses down. Which, side note, apparently that is a thing where burglars will break into Airbnbs.
Yeah, I think it just had happened shortly after that. That was
burglars.
It was on the news. It had happened to a bachelor party of a group of men.
Yeah.
Just like a couple weeks after we came home.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and then also earlier that day, was that the end of this? Well, we had tipsy trailer in, remember? And
yes.
So what the SWAT team did see when they went through the neighborhood is they saw that our back gate was opened.
Right.
Because we had the drink trailer.
And we had the drink trailer, which we forgot to shout it.
Yeah.
Probably because of all the drinks.
Well, the drinks were very good. Shout out to Tipsy Trailer.
Tipsy Trailer, Arizona. We love you.
You killed
but
it.
So that was a red flag to the
right. So I think that's why they stopped. So continue because
but yeah, they asked me. They said, okay, like, is this? Cause there's like 4 or 5 of us at the door. Is this everybody who's in the house? And I'm like, well, no, there's like 12 of us. He's like, well, you need to go account for everybody because we're about to go in the backyard and like scan it
with giant guns.
Yeah, and giant flashlights. And so I'm panicked because I'm like, okay, who fell asleep out there? Like, what happened?
So I finally get a knock on the door, and it's Otter, and she goes, the cops are here. And I immediately look for my roommate, who is my younger sister. She's there, sound asleep in bed, but she's usually the one that's out by the pool till 3 or 4. And I thought,
she's the night owl.
So you were saying you thought, okay, who messed up? I thought, oh my God. And I turned, patted it down. Nope, she's there. It's safe. Tell me what's going on. So continue. And then I walk out, and she's told me the SWAT's here, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, and then I went to another one of our friends' rooms because they're also, late night owls, and I knocked on the door, and you were in that room, Haas.
Yeah.
And I go, hey, guys, just want to make sure you're all here because the cops are here. And everyone just looked at me, and they're like, yeah, and you fell back asleep. I didn't even care.
Honestly, I didn't even register what you were saying or who you were. Like, when I woke up the next morning, I could have sworn our other friend came into the room.
And she wasn't even there that night.
Yeah.
She had gone home that night.
Yeah, you're right. And she was saying something about, like, how we forgot to tie something up. Like, when I think about it, you weren't even there. You didn't even tell me that happened. It was one of our other friends, and you weren't telling us that there were cops there. Yeah. So I was so out of it. I was so tired and probably still drunk that I didn't even know.
Anyway, we let the cops know, everyone's accounted for. They scoped the premises.
It was crazy. And I got to tell you, this is what I walked out to. The way this house was is the entire back of the house was all pretty much windows or glass doors. So you could see out into the backyard. And it was a beautiful backyard, which was a huge backyard. There was a putting green. There was a great pool. There was a covered area with
basketball court.
There was a covered area with foosball. I mean, it was wonderful.
Giant chest.
Gorgeous.
And what I looked at was I saw the flashlights. I saw the guns drawn.
Mm-hmm.
And they were going back behind the pool and everything. And I just thought, this would be hysterical if all of these SWAT guys just started doing a Chippendale dance.
Oh my God. Wait,
it was a bachelorette party.
It was a bachelorette party, and for a split second, I thought this could be funny. But then when you're looking and then you realize what you're witnessing, it becomes really surreal.
Right. Oh, wow.
And really strange. And then being the oldest there, I felt like I had some sort of responsibility. So I just said, get away from the windows.
What are you doing?
Get down. Smarg said, get away from the windows. If bullets fly.
We also had a blow-up doll, dressed up.
Oh, we did. Yeah.
He was the bachelor.
The bachelor, yep.
At one point, we had him laying out by the pool.
And I did say, he's gone. He's a goner.
I thought for sure they were going to draw their guns on him and say, hands up.
Yeah, because we had him all dressed.
We had him dressed.
He looked like
shoes on him,
sunglasses.
Yeah, we had. I had a little bit too much to drink poolside one night with my sister I was talking about, and we just thought it was hysterical to dress up the little bachelor in whatever clothes and shoes that was left behind by everybody. And we did. We thought, oh, no. However, someone had brought him in, so he did survive.
Yep. I don't know how that went down, honestly, but because I obviously wasn't.
Yeah, you slept through the whole thing.
I slept through the whole thing.
But we all survived it.
That was such a fun weekend.
Felt very safe
I had
afterwards.
A blast.
And a lot happened in between. That was just the ending. So
that was
what was hilarious is we had other things planned, I believe. The next morning we went out to brunch, wonderful brunch, and then we went back to the house and nobody wanted to leave.
Yeah,
because everything was there.
We just hung out by
We
the
just hung
pool
out
for
for
the entire
time,
weekend,
yeah.
essentially. It was
But-
awesome.
But knowing the bride, that is kind of her style.
Yeah.
Like, she likes
Yeah.
to go out sometimes, but she really just enjoys like a good house with a
Hanging,
good
yep.
pool and
hanging out. and-
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
We had a
that
great
was
time.
that was Scottsdale, and then I don't know if we just want to kind of continue on that route because
Yeah.
that's where our summer
we
started.
should
That's
because
where our
then
summer
that's
kicked off.
when. So leaving there, we
Yeah.
all came back to Colorado. However,
Well,
Otter
no.
went to Sedona,
Yes.
and
And-
Haas went to Costa Rica.
Yeah.
So what do we want to talk about first?
Well, let me just, since we're in
Yeah.
Arizona already, let's just.
Yeah.
So yeah, actually, Haas and I went to a hotel in Scottsdale for the evening before
yeah.
her poor flight that night was
Ugh.
a nightmare, and she can tell you all about that. But then the next day, my husband came out, and we drove up to Sedona, and it was beautiful, and we rode our bikes and had like the best fried pickles. I'm still chasing those fried pickles. So if anyone has recommendations of amazing fried pickles in Colorado, let me know,
Okay.
because I haven't found like an amazing one like I did in Sedona.
Did you ever eat at Merle's? It used to be in Littleton. They had fried pickles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they the spears though? Because there's something about the fried pickle spears. They're so much better than the
I've
chips.
never
Full
had.
spears.
I
Yeah.
have never had fried
Me
pickles.
neither.
Yes.
Well, we're in for a treat, Haas.
Yes.
Okay.
I know.
So yeah, Sedona was beautiful, and then we went to Santa Fe, and we rode our bikes there.
Oh, I love Santa Fe.
And yeah, it was actually, I don't think I've ever been in the town of Santa Fe. I've been to New Mexico quite a few times. But yeah, Santa Fe was beautiful. I loved it. And then our plan was to go to Taos and spend a night there. And I'm sorry, Taos, but I just have to say we were actually very disappointed with Taos. I don't know if it's because they were
Aw.
doing a ton of construction or if it's like the time of year. Maybe they're better as a ski resort.
Okay.
I don't know. It just wasn't quite our vibe. I was just getting a lot of like Breaking Bad vibes, if
They
you will.
are just
Okay,
That's what they like
okay.
really harp on. So maybe the winners obviously.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Okay.
So we actually decided not even to stay there. We had lunch there and then just kept driving through back
Wow,
home because
no
we wanted to
way.
get home to our puppies.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you had something to come home to. But,
yeah.
you know, so what did you think? Is Sedona? I have not been.
You've never been to
You've never
Sedona?
I have not. I really
Oh
would
my
like to
gosh.
go.
No, it's beautiful.
So that's
It is
gotta
on my
be,
second bucket list.
it's like my
I'm
fourth or
on my
fifth
second.
time up there.
I feel
Is
like
it a
that's-
spiritual? Do you
You
feel
love
it?
that place.
That's what I've heard.
Love Sedona. The first time I went to Sedona, it was 14 on a road trip with one of our good friends. And I don't know like why it was so life-changing for me, but it just was. And then, you know, we would all go on
I
like,
have heard
spring
that.
break up there a couple more times.
About Sedona.
Yeah, when we were kids,
Um,
we'd go there quite a bit.
Yeah.
Funny little
beautiful.
side story. My husband was supposed to propose to me up there.
He was. I still didn't get
April of
reimbursed for that
2020.
trip.
You didn't get reimbursed for
No.
that? Oh, I'm so sorry. He was going to surprise
What
me. He had all my
happened? friends
friends plan on flying out to Sedona, and he was going to propose to me out there
Mhm.
with all my friends. And it would have been beautiful, but as you know, April of 2020 pandemic hit. So he actually did a something completely different in July, which was still very beautiful. But we ended up going to Sedona together that September just so I could show him Sedona because I'm always talking about how much I
Right.
love it.
Right.
Oh, he had never been there?
He had
before
never
that?
been. He was
Aw.
doing that for me because he knows I love Sedona. It's one of my
Aw.
favorite places on the planet. That and Cabo. I don't know. They are just very close to my heart. It's warm. It's beautiful. I love the desert. But yeah, so I don't even know what I was saying about Sedona. It's just, it's beautiful.
Well, I was asking you, do you feel it? You feel the spirituality or something? You must because you had said the first time you were there, something stuck with you. So,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
I've heard that so many times.
They say there's like this vortex out there, and I can't say I've ever had this like euphoric, like, oh, it's the vortex. But I definitely just, I don't know, when I'm out there, I feel, and not just because I'm on vacation, I just feel so like carefree and at peace and like safe.
Nice.
Mhm.
You know, like we went to Seattle in July, and like I had a good time, but it wasn't like, I don't know,
This
Sedona.
peaceful feeling that you get.
Yeah.
The peaceful feeling. Eagles sing about that.
Yeah. So it's
Peaceful feeling.
so yeah, if you haven't been to Sedona, I do really recommend
Highly
it.
recommend it. It is
100%.
beautiful.
And I
So,
think the song, standing at the corner at Winslow,
Winslow,
Arizona. So it is
Mhm.
Arizona. So,
Yeah.
well, I can't wait. I cannot wait.
You gotta go,
to.
Smarg.
Oh, I will.
You gotta
I will.
go.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing
Yeah.
that. That's great. And how'd you do your laundry when you were on the road? Did you just come back with a whole bunch of dirty laundry, or?
You know, at one point we were going to do that in the Airbnb, and then it turned out to not be as feasible because there was I don't know. There's always caveats with Airbnbs, right?
Yeah.
Like, but
Right,
if you
right.
want to do your laundry, there's an extra like $5 charge per load.
Oh.
So no, we just had a bunch of laundry to do as soon as we got home.
Right.
Days of laundry.
Days of
Yeah.
laundry.
And,
But the trip was still worth it.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
and how's all the baby prepping going
It's
for
going
little baby
good.
Otter?
Yeah. So yeah, she's doing really good. You know, we've had all our ultrasounds so far. She's growing normal. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like the fact that it's uneventful is like just really a good thing, because I know
Yes,
so many
yes.
pregnant women, you know, they struggle and they feel terrible the whole time, and I have like no complaints. Like, yeah, I have days that I get extra tired or moody, but for the most part, like, I mean, I have my appetite back, which is the best thing,
Yeah,
Great.
that's awesome.
because when I first wasn't feeling great, I thought I was never going to eat again, and it was really depressing.
It's hard. It's hard when
Yeah.
you are in the middle of it.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
like
yeah.
think
I
this.
love eating. Like, I don't drink, so like food is like my like oh, we're going out to dinner.
Your
I'm so
bliss.
excited.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so yeah, having my appetite back is everything. I did mention we went to Seattle in July because my husband.
Oh yeah, how was that?
It was really fun.
We'll have to put some pictures on
on our
Instagram because
and our
there were some adorable
Facebook.
pictures.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Seattle was really cool. My husband, he like works out there. That's like, it's his territory. So he has to travel out there every so often. But we took advantage of his trip this July, and I went down there and we made a vacation out of it. And he was working for the first like 2 or 3 days. So I just spent a lot of time by myself, like in the hotel reading. And then I
Nice.
befriended the little transport lady, and she took me like to this really cool Japanese garden that was beautiful.
Oh, I've been to a couple of. They have like 2, I think, there, don't they?
I mean, I'm sure they
They're
have
beautiful.
several, but yeah, I saw Jimi Hendrix Cemetery, which was really neat.
Okay, nice.
And then the next 2 days, my husband and I actually went to the town of Seattle, and we stayed down there, and it was really fun. You know, lots of really good food, the best clam chowder I've ever had in my life. We went to the Pop Culture Museum, which was fun because I'm a huge like Nirvana fan.
Right,
So
I
that
did.
was really
Yeah,
cool to see all
I
of
did see a
that.
picture of you guys
And
there.
We went to the Chihuly. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Chihuly. His glass art exhibit down there, which was beautiful. So yeah, Seattle was fun. And my only we walked so much, but my only discrepancy with Seattle is it was literally like 5 o'clock, broad daylight. We're walking to dinner one night, and this woman on the middle of the street all of a sudden is smoking crack out of a Coke can, out of a pop can.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, you know, I'm like, okay, like that was odd. But then we saw it again and again. Several
Sad.
people just like smoking crack in the middle of the sidewalk, not trying to be discreet, not trying to hide it.
Oh, that's just sad.
So yeah, their homeless problem is really bad down there, and it is really sad.
Did you go down to the wharf?
We went down to the wharf.
What'd you think
We
of
went
that?
to-
Did you see the big markets?
Yeah, we went to Pike's Market. That's where we had the great clam chowder.
Nice.
They literally had like 8
nice.
different varieties to choose from, and so we got a little.
It's very cool down at the wharf, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's so.
It's very
Yeah. No, I thought Seattle was really pretty. I did like it. I could never live in the city. All right, sorry about that. We were having some technical difficulties. One of our mics broke, but good news because
Yeah, Smarg and I were able to go to a podcast conference this past month. We went
Oh,
to
yeah, it was one of the highlights of my summer.
Podcast Movement, and quick shout out to Focusrite for sending us our new board and some new mics and headphones, and they work awesome. Apparently
Yeah.
our old microphones and stands are just falling apart.
as we speak.
So yeah, shout out to Focusrite.
Anyway,
we won something. I think they were doing a little lottery or something. And
yeah, they gave us
Dirty
Vocaster.
Laundry, Clean Confessions won a Vocaster podcasting system.
Yeah, so it was a mic and headphones and a deck, and then we actually bought matching headphones and another mic with it because we loved it so much. So shout out to those guys. You guys rock.
Yes,
We
thank
need
you.
to
And we're
replace all
hoping
of
to
our
take-
equipment apparently.
We're hoping it's such a little unit. We're hoping to take it to a couple of laundromats,
Yeah.
maybe in season 2 for special bonus editions.
Yeah.
Are there any shout outs that we want to give to those that
Doc
you all
Rock.
met?
Doc Rock was wonderful. We sat in a couple of his sessions.
We love you, Doc.
Yep. And we are thinking about you and your family and friends. He's from Maui, Hawaii. And everybody that's listening, you know, they're still going through it.
Yeah.
It's maybe not on the news anymore, but man, they are still just trying to put their lives back together.
And they will be for the
they
next
will be for quite
years,
a while. So
few years. So
we're going to be checking in, and we're going to check in on some emails and make sure he's doing good. But we just wanted to say, you know, our hearts are with everybody there. Darn it.
And we met quite a few other podcasters there, but our friends from Tickets to Anywhere, we love you girls. You guys were some of our first friends we met at the podcast.
They were wonderful. And
convention.
Oh my gosh, their podcast is great.
Adorable.
It's just adorable, informative. It's great.
Yeah. Saucy Sibs, shout out to you guys. We love you.
Hopefully they'll be a guest at some point.
Get you guys on. Yeah. Quite a few others. We met quite a few great people. But it was a great time. But we didn't mean to interrupt your.
Oh no,
last of your summers.
I was done with my Seattle story. So I mean, really, that was my summer. You know, we traveled a couple places and just really focused on baby, and we love riding our e-bikes everywhere.
So awesome.
Any great e-bike adventures?
I mean, you know, we brought them to Sedona and then to
Oh,
Santa
did
Fe.
you? Nice.
Yeah,
Oh, great.
It was really fun. And then, you know, we've just been kind of riding around our hometown, Littleton, Lakewood, Morrison. So that's our new favorite tradition is, you know, Thursdays while summer still lasts. We do a little date night. We grab a little picnic and go to the park on our
Oh, nice.
Cute.
So
wait, I love that.
Yeah. But so yeah, while we were, you know, gallivanting through all of those places, Haas was adventuring in South America.
Yeah.
Tell us about it, Haas.
So she left, and like we all did, we all parted ways. Like we did Sedona, or I'm sorry, we did Scottsdale, and then we all dispersed. I came back home. Otter went to Sedona, and Haas got to go to Costa Rica.
Yeah, I did, and I did not plan my trip very well. For some reason, I thought I was being so smart by, you know, booking an 8 p.m. flight so that I'd fly throughout the night and then I'd get there first thing in the morning. I didn't really put into account that, you know, after a 3-day long bachelorette party, I would be feeling some type of way, and just having to gather all my stuff to take to the airport. And then
it was a challenge. It was a challenge for Haas.
It was a huge challenge. And then
thank goodness for Otter, because she already had that hotel room.
Otter saved me. They even brought me to the airport, but
which is a really confusing airport.
Really confusing airport.
What is going on with that place?
And I also didn't have like the proper boarding passes I needed to get on the plane, and I didn't know even what airline I was flying out of. Like, it was a whole thing. Do you remember that?
But it wasn't like a typical airline.
Yeah,
you know,
it
it's
was
not
an
like
airline.
United, Southwest. It's like some very random South American airline.
It was, but what scared me the most is when I got to the airport and I asked the information desk if they had heard of that airline. They had never heard of that airline before.
Oh no!
And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like,
how did
board
you
this
find
plane.
this airline?
Well, after I panicked and freaked out significantly for 20 minutes, I'm on the phone with, you know, the people I coordinated the flight with, and I'm checking all my emails. I'm like literally shaking, and I go to the check-in counter, and I'm talking to this guy, and he can obviously tell that I'm freaking out, that I'm gonna miss this flight, because I also don't have a return flight. Like, this is my I am just going and I am leaving. I'm not coming back. Like, this is the only way I could get out there. And he could just see the fear in my eyes. And I told him, I was like, I don't know where my flight is. I don't even know, like, where my gate would be. I didn't get my boarding pass, and no one can tell me where to go. And everyone I call, like, all the support lines are in Spanish. He's like, okay, you know, it's okay. And then somewhere out of nowhere, it just, like, it clicks that I remember at the bottom of one of the emails I got, it was said, partner of United or something.
Oh, okay.
So he said, okay, so you need to go to the United place. Here's your ticket right here. He found it for me, printed it all out for me. He even was like, breathe.
Oh.
No. And I was like gonna cry. I'm like, thank you so much. I
mean, that's a lot. You like,
so
we had spent so much time planning this bachelorette party. You had spent so much time planning this trip.
And I was moving. I had moved out of my.
You were editing
house.
a podcast?
Yeah, I had. Yeah. Oh,
we had our last episode launch, I think, like the
Just
day we left
Yeah.
for the trip.
Yeah.
And then you're going to this foreign country to live there for 2 years. Meanwhile, like
2 months.
2 months.
2 years.
I
2
wish
months.
it was 2 years.
Pregnancy
we
brain is
can't
a
live
real
without you
thing.
that long.
I wish.
Sorry. 2 months, but still, that's a very long time. And
Yeah.
like you had this like change in your job, and there's just so much going on. And
Yeah.
then you're going to this country that doesn't even speak English very well, and they're
Yeah.
telling you, "Oh, we don't even know what that
Airline, we don't-
is. Good luck."
How many hours did it take you to get there from Arizona?
15 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, from California, I know it's about a 4-hour flight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So from let's just be
I
2
went-
hours.
Yeah.
Layover?
7 tops.
I had 2 layovers.
Oh.
So 3 flights. I had a layover in LA.
So you flew
LA.
through the night, the day, and then the night.
Yeah. Yeah. LA, layover there, and then to Panama City, and then to San Jose, Costa Rica. But what sucked was my first layover was in the middle of the night, but it was delayed by 45 minutes, which was convenient because my layover in Panama was only 45 minutes. So I was like, I'm going to miss this flight for sure, and I'm going to be stuck in Panama, and I don't know how to get out. Before that, also, they wouldn't let me on the flight because I didn't have a flight out. So I had to book a flight out on the spot right in front of them, and then I just canceled
I
it.
have.
You mean
heard
like a
of that.
flight to come home?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
have
because
heard
they
of
don't.
that.
They
you,
wouldn't
like,
let me.
staying without
Even
a
if you're
visa.
going to change it, they
I
want to know
told-
that you have.
I
some
told
sort
them
of
I was
okay.
going to Panama, and then I was going to be traveling around, so I didn't have a flight back. So I had to book a Airbnb in Panama and then a bus ticket from Panama or from Costa Rica back into the United States or something. I had to book
Okay.
it right there in front of them. Well, no, I booked it in front of them, but they didn't know I did that. I said, "Oh, let me find it," and I just
Oh, yeah, here it is, right here.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of skipjetting? This little side note.
no, what's that?
So it's a thing. It's a little controversial, but basically, let's say you want to go to Seattle, right? So you want to go
Okay.
to Seattle, and the direct flight to Seattle is like $400. But you find out that there's, I don't know, let's say there's going to be a flight to New York, but Seattle's the layover. So like in that flight, for some reason, even though you're going to New York, that flight is cheaper. But you don't ever go to New York. You just get off at Seattle and you don't continue your trip. So there's
Oh,
actually
that's
like
a great idea.
yeah, it's like really clever, I thought. And there's actually a whole website designated to it, so you can like say, "This is where I'm going. This is where I'm
Do you
coming
always?
from."
I guess when you land, you always can get off the plane. Like
Yeah,
it's just
exactly,
when
'cause
they
you're
don't know, right?
you're
Because they don't know
switching
where you're
over.
going, right?
But
okay.
some
Doesn't
airlines
matter.
are getting mad because they're saying, "Oh, we have these empty seats because people aren't like getting on the flight." But it's like it's already paid for technically. And if you're
I'm
gonna
having a hard
charge-
time feeling sorry for the airline.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. But so,
They
anyways,
have
it's
been making quite a bit of money.
Especially some of their crazy
Yeah.
layovers that you have. You know,
Well-
they're not even usually directly in the direction you're going.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, if your direct flight from Colorado to Seattle is more expensive than a flight that would have a layover in Seattle going to New York, and I'm outsmarting your system, you can't be mad at me for that.
yeah, that's
Mhm.
awesome.
Side note
totally
for
gonna
those
do that.
travelers out
It's
there.
technically paid for, but I wonder.
That'd be a good way to go to Oregon, probably.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wonder.
So anyway,
Um,
tell us more about
No, yeah.
Costa Rica.
I don't need to dwell on it. It was a great time. I was out there for a few months. I ended up losing my job as soon as I got out there, which was bittersweet because
Bullshit.
I got to enjoy the country a little bit more. You know, I thought I was going to be working the whole time. So
But it was
Right.
It was
really
kinda-
wrong, just to put it out there for poor Haas. It's really wrong the way the company went about it. They made it sound
yeah.
like they were promising
Of course,
her
you
this
can go
job.
remote, but we won't send you any work.
right.
Yeah, they just like took all her work away from her. They took her health insurance away. It was just honestly a really shitty thing that they did to her.
Yeah. No,
so-
it was horrible. Don't get me wrong. It was probably the worst thing ever. But
So
To
what did
look-
you learn, Haas?
to be honest, being in that beautiful place and having this happen to me, it was hard for me to be super sad and mad, you know, especially
See,
in the
your whites
chillest
came
place
out
in the
extra
world.
bright.
Oh, I had the
Right?
whitest bright. Yeah, the
Your
whitest, the
your-
brightest
your-
white.
Yep, and your colors were vibrant.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Good
it was
for you for making a crap situation. At least you didn't allow it to ruin your time there.
exactly.
And I'm
Yeah.
really proud of you for that.
And it was time for me to leave that company anyway. So really, it was kind of a blessing in disguise. I mean, it's a
Strange how
little,
the universe
little more
works, yeah.
stressful than I would have liked it to be, but it was fine. It all worked out. I met some amazing people out there. I just bounced around to different cities every few weeks. But everyone I met was so great. I thought my Spanish was pretty decent when I went out there. Turns out it's dirt awful. I didn't know anything. I could barely communicate with anyone.
Turns out that Ross's Spanish is like maybe
muy mal.
two and a half year old
I told you to
equivalent.
call me and I would translate for you.
I'm not gonna call you every conversation I had. It was
Well, don't they have
it
a
was
translator on your phone too?
Yeah.
But how
Yeah.
sweet is that? Because I would call Otter.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't use an app.
You
I would.
do.
I
You
do.
text
I
me
actually.
all
I
the
do.
time.
I do.
How do I
Actually,
say that?
I don't just call her. I do. Text her going.
A lot of the people I met were very sweet, and they did know English, and they would help me. They would help me through conversations. They would check in and make sure I knew what was going on. 99% of the time, I thought I knew exactly what they were saying, and I was following the conversation perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, "Yeah, you guys are talking about this and that," and they'd say, "No, not even close. Not even. I don't even know where you got that from." It was completely opposite. But it was fine. We had a great time. Tried to surf. Apparently, I don't remember how to surf.
Have you
Did
surfed
lots of
before?
yoga. Yeah, I used to surf when I was a
okay.
kid. Like every vacation, we used to surf. But
Really? Okay.
apparently,
not so much
apparently, it's not like
anymore,
riding
huh?
a bike.
Oh,
Silu
darn
wasn't
it.
out there to help you.
I know,
Silu.
Silu. Shout out to Silu. I needed you up by my side because it was rough. I got rocked.
By the way, Silu's going to be one of our return guests for this season.
Yeah.
And we're
He
going to be able to
is.
hear about how his river surfing
little
went through the
Silu
summer.
redo.
So,
for the
yeah, just a little
crew.
side note there. So continue on with our Costa Rica trip because
if I
you
spill
went-
this beer one more time, I'm gonna lose my shit.
you went to Panama as well, didn't you? What did
I
you think
did
of
go to
that? Did you get to
Panama.
see the what is it? The-
Panama Canal.
Yeah, the canal.
I did not. I went.
That's on my bucket list. My second bucket list. I want to
Yeah.
see
Your
like
second bucket list?
yeah, I already blew through my first one.
Okay.
Just blew through that. That's what the whole Willie Nelson birthday party.
right.
I mean, that was my last check for that first bucket list, and I went, "Who knew you could blow through these so quick?" So I'm on my second bucket list, and I'm
Yeah.
starting it out with seeing Willie Nelson again.
Oh, good. In Detroit.
But yeah, I do want to see the canal.
Yeah, I have heard it's really cool. I did stop in Panama City, but I didn't hang out there. So,
What'd you
and a
think
lot
of
of
it?
the friends I met traveling, they said the Panama Canal is really cool.
I heard it's
But-
pretty cool.
I actually just went to Bocas del Toro, which was just like the northern part of Panama.
Okay.
So it's like a little island town. It's beautiful. It took us way too long to get there because we had an issue with the border. It's only supposed to take like 2 hours. It took us like 5.5, I think.
Just like your flight down there, huh?
Well, I also learned very
You just
quickly
decide to keep the theme going.
every transportation estimate that they give you, if it's 5 hours, 10 hours, you triple it. There's no
Oh.
way it's anywhere close to what they say.
Oh wow!
Which thank God I learned that early, because honestly, if I would have like booked a flight in San Jose, but I had to travel 15 hours from Puerto Viejo or something, and then it's like you miss your flight entirely. So
they
they
You wanna
they take
tack on
things
how
very
many?
slow. I would honestly say at minimum double it, if
double
not
it. Okay.
triple it.
Isn't transportation just in another country so interesting anyway, how it differs from the transportation here?
Yeah.
Well, it's
Sometimes I think we have
crazy.
great transportation. Then I go somewhere else and I'm like, our transportation sucks. And then
Or vice
sometimes
versa.
I
Or
go
vice versa.
somewhere and I go, oh my God, we have the best transportation
Yeah.
in the world. So
Yeah.
I will say in Cabo,
I can't say
I don't
that.
know if you've ever ridden the bus in Cabo, Smarg.
no,
I
I love hearing my children's stories about them riding
about
the
us
bus.
riding the bus.
I love it. And I'm not, I
I-
will partake, I guess, but
I will say it's
haven't
just
really
so
wanted to.
interesting because the few times that we've done it, the bus like barely it slows down enough, but it's still rolling. They're like, "Come on, get on." So we're getting on the bus, and they're just like, "You have fare, right?" And we're like, "Yeah, kinda." And they're like, then they just drive off like while you're
Oh
still
my God.
standing there trying to give them the amount. And you're like, "Is $1 good?" They're like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
sure."
what-
Yeah.
And then
oh my
like,
goodness.
and then you're like, they're like, "Where are you going?" You're like, "Oh, I'm gonna stop here." And then they're like, "Well, how about here?" And then they don't even fully stop, and they just kind of like let you.
oh my gosh, that is like,
show it
that
off.
Oh my
reminds me of a
God.
quick little, a smart of a quick little story when, I don't know what you would call it. They had a cute name for it when you drop your kids off at school in the morning.
Hug and go.
Hug and go.
Or kiss
Okay.
and go. That's what they
Kiss
call it
and
in
go, hug and
Australia.
go. Okay. I called it tuck and roll. And because, man, I mean, some of those people directing traffic, those teachers, they can really get grouchy. I mean, they kind of scare you. Like, I'm like, okay. So I made a little joke called tuck and roll, which, of course, my daughters understood it as a joke. And, of course, I stopped a little bit. Okay. So there was one time I was taking my youngest daughter and her friend to school. And I said, okay, tuck and roll. And I just got a glimpse in the rearview mirror of this little girl's face. And then I looked straight at my daughter, and she shot me a look like, I will never speak to you again.
Oh, no.
Like, because the little girl that we were giving a ride to was like, she's like, wanted to be her best friend, and she was looking really forward to this friendship. And I said, tuck and roll. And she almost started crying. She really didn't think
Mom, don't embarrass me.
And then the little girl started crying because she thought I really wasn't going to stop the car. And I'm like, oh, this went bad so quick.
And then she went home and told her mom.
Yeah, Smarg doesn't do mornings.
Smarg threw us out of the car.
Yeah. Smarg does not do mornings.
Told us to tuck and roll.
And the other thing that just insanely pissed my kids off every time that I would drive them to school, because they decided to do this roundabout between the elementary school and the high school. And there's one thing about Americans, that we're getting better. But you sure as shit don't want to put a roundabout between an elementary school and a high school during, because it's just going to be
nobody knows how to use it
twice a day.
Oh no,
it's going to be hell twice a day. It was total hell. So what I would do is I would just get to the roundabout and just stop and just wave and smile at people. I'd even roll down my window and just like, okay, we're all going to go through this slow, right? I'd be rolling down my window going, okay, let's just go.
I love the concept of a roundabout, but some people don't get it.
Well, if you think about it, I don't know now, but I'm hoping it is in when you take your driver's test, like when you're on the road and you take that test, I sure hope that
surely they have implemented
because
that.
If you're not used to that and you're only used to a 4-way stop, and then you have all these other options.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
Well, but I think it is different in other countries too, because as you know, in Cabo, so like here in the United States, you stop, you yield to the left and whoever's in the circle, and then when it's clear, you go. In Cabo, they have like stop signs in the middle of the roundabout, and then it's like you get in there.
I actually know what specific one you're talking about.
By the Mega?
Yeah, I don't think that one's properly done.
Okay, because that one's
they
a
have
nightmare.
one down in Cabo.
Okay,
and that seems to run more like what we do,
like a roundabout.
There isn't, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, this is a roundabout where seriously in the middle of it, there's like this stop sign.
It's not safe.
What?
It's not safe.
So what we do is we do a couple Hail Marys.
Yeah.
And then I always tell anyone I'm with, or if I'm driving, I just go through it real slow because I figure, impact slower is better.
Right.
I mean, someone could be barreling through and hit me hard, as they do. However, if I'm going slower, I still think it's going to be better.
Yeah.
No, but there's where you want to roll down your window too and go, hey, and eye contact. I never knew eye contact was so important in a roundabout.
It is.
Like
I'm going right.
I'm going right.
Okay.
And
my
they're all
turn,
like,
right?
oh, okay. And you can tell the locals that are from there, right? Because they just kind of roll their eyes and go, okay, we'll let you go.
No one knows how to use this roundabout.
Yeah.
Don't they know this is the exception of all the roundabouts? You stop in the middle of the roundabout, damn it.
And then you look around and whoever's bigger goes first. No, I don't know what it is, but anyway, sorry. But
we'll figure it out.
That one.
No.
Wow, reel it back.
Those roundabouts. Well, one of these days,
that laundry load
it out.
just got off balance, didn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, but it's okay. We're getting back on balance. We've evened
Yeah.
out the load.
Yeah, we've evened out the load.
Anything else interesting or remarkable about Costa Rica?
No, honestly, I mean, really, it just.
Hey, why don't you share with our listeners? It was the very first Wednesday the three of us were separated after the bachelorette party, and you were at your rental, or maybe you were at the hostel maybe, and you had to take some trash down. For those that don't know, Wednesday is usually our recording day, or at least when we get together and do some planning for the podcast. It's our podcasting day.
Yeah, no, that was my cute little Airbnb spot, and the compost bin was a little washer machine. Like it had a giant washer sticker on the front of it. And I sent a picture to my ladies. I said, "Tell me this is not a sign that."
Yeah.
I was
Season
meant
2
to be here. Season 2's coming. I missed you girls. It was just so ironic that
And I do, that's like finding that extra 20 in the dryer when you're done. I mean, I love finding that in life. And that's when I text Haas and I just said, you know what? The universe is talking.
Yep.
But it was adorable. It was an adorable compost bin.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. And it was just a big sticker of almost like our sticker of our washer and dryer. It was
literally looked
adorable.
identical. It was crazy.
Like, okay, we're on the right path.
I know. And I was kind of bummed I never actually got to do laundry in that first place because they didn't have a laundry facility, where I was staying. It was like on a yoga retreat kind of place.
Right.
But they had like these cute little bungalows everyone stayed in. And then you do your laundry like down the street. You go to like a little laundromat and drop it off.
That would have been great.
But I gave her a sticker, even though I don't think she really knew what it was. I didn't really tell her.
Do they have the QR or the?
Yeah, they
QR
have.
code?
They have the sticker.
Well,
Like, I don't know
she'll know what that is. So maybe that's universal, right?
Yeah.
Isn't?
Yeah.
What are they? QR codes.
QR codes.
Those are universal. Like
Yeah.
So
So she might have
We'll
figured
see.
it out. But
Well, shout out to that laundromat.
yeah, they were the
think that's
best. They
yeah.
were so sweet and they
That
were
is
so
cool.
quick and
That's
efficient.
cool. That's neat.
But no, it was a great trip. I honestly just learned how to just have peace and find joy and find happiness and everything. And everyone I met was just, the sweetest, wisest, calmest, grateful people. I mean, the people I met
nice.
worked 7 days a week, all day long. I mean, for essentially nothing. And they were just grateful for everything. And they just taught me that, life comes at you the way that it's going to. You just have to accept it and roll with it. And it was really, I was so glad to be in that environment when I went through such a tough time with my career, because the people that I was with just reminded me that this is life. Enjoy what you have. Don't worry about what you can't control, and let the universe talk to you and manifest what you want in life. And
sometimes those reds turn things pink in your wash,
really
right?
do.
Confession.
And what did you do?
Uh-oh.
You let your pink flag fly, Haas.
I sure did.
You let your pink flag. It was supposed to be red, but hell, you let the pink flag fly.
And that's okay,
Aw. Yeah,
That's
you
fine.
found it's like wearing rose-colored glasses. So Otter, what did you do?
It's your
Well, that was
confession.
just, sorry, that reminded me of confession.
Okay,
I used
okay.
to house sit for Smarg.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know where I'm going with this, but one time, I was always so good about making sure to wash the sheets and the towels. And I don't know what happened, but I decided to go wash, I think one of her really cute, like, Christmas towels or something with another cute Christmas towel, but one was white and one was red. And all of a sudden everything came out pink. And I don't know if you remember that.
I do. And what was adorable is that wasn't the last time you stayed at my house.
No.
So it was okay. But oh my gosh, because Otter is the one that I'm like, you can stay at my house, because a lot of times, like, I come home to a cleaner house than I left. And I'm like, why not?
Yeah.
That's my motto when I'm house
yeah,
sitting. Leave
no,
things
that's-
nicer than I found.
Oh,
Yeah,
you know what? That's Mama
exactly.
T's. That's Mama T's motto. Her grandmother taught her that. Why
Yeah.
not leave things a little bit nicer than you found them?
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
can. If you can.
That's how we should
100%.
leave this planet when we leave.
Exactly.
So you know what? You just brighten up those pinks.
And That's fine.
Pink's not a bad color.
Oh, it's great color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Great skin tone for pink.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough of our summers. How was your summers, Marge?
My summer was good. Not long enough, of course.
I know, it never
It
is.
never is. The one thing that I booked just recently that I was like, I'm going to do it this summer is water ski. I haven't water skied since my surgeries. So I am ready to try it out.
Yeah, we're
I
doing
am.
it.
It's exciting.
So on Friday, so I'm excited for that but it looks like it's going to freaking snow or something on Friday. So
As it does in Colorado.
As it
It
can
goes from
do.
90 to 30 real quick.
as it can do. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I do have a dry suit.
Oh,
So-
see, Lou.
So if it seems it's going to be very cold, then, or I have a wetsuit as well. So, as long as it's not lightning, I'll try it.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. And that's the end of the summer. The beginning of the summer started out the bachelorette party with all you ladies. And I had an awesome time. I have to share with you, there was a moment in the kitchen when we were all in the kitchen. I think it was shortly after the Costco groceries were delivered. And
Mm.
we'd probably on our second drink. And I went, I'm the oldest person here.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that,
Like-
honestly.
But probably the youngest in spirit.
That's,
But
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
like, no.
The fact that
well,
none of us even
I
realized
felt like I
that.
had to go into defense mode in a way. I'm like, if I don't plan my weekend well, I will die.
Well, to
And
be
I think
fair,
I planned it well. I think I did okay. But I had a blast with all you guys. And, with my daughter, spending that time with her before, she gets married and stuff was just priceless. We had a great time.
well, you've
fun.
always been part of the group. It's never been like our friend's mom. You're always like, you're one of us.
It makes me feel so
It would have
good.
been weird if you weren't there.
I hang out with you more than I hang out with
I agree.
that friend. And
Same.
not that I don't love her, but at one point she was living in Steamboat, and I remember you and I would hang out all the time.
And you guys, that helped me too, because you guys know, I was just so distraught that my daughter went to school 3.5 hours away from me that I went and bought a puppy, Olive.
Yeah.
Which I do want to say full circle with Olive. And my other daughter reminded me of this when we found out of the cancer she had, and we knew it wasn't going to be very long and it was going to be pretty quick. She says, Mom, you have to remember your heart was aching. So you went and got this little puppy and you named her Olive, and she's with you 13 years. And Olive has served her purpose, so to speak. Yeah.
Right?
And I was just, it's the first daughter that moved away. And oh my God, now that I look at it, 3.5 hours. And I spent most of my time in Steamboat for the next 2 years. And Olive was snuck into a lot of places and everything. But it was just, I don't know. It was just, I just had to be reminded of that. And I thought it was great that even another daughter pointed that out to me.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about life and family. And I feel like it was a summer of family. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you wanted to try and get away from them, you couldn't. It's just what happened this summer. And I was so happy to be a part of everything. I got to do the flowers for the wedding, which at one point got a little stressful. However, my daughter from Australia and her husband flew in, and they were right on it. I mean, and then my best friend and stepmom was right on it. I mean, yeah,
quote unquote.
Yeah, that
That's
young
a blessing
woman.
in itself.
That young woman my father was forced to marry, so his daughter would have a friend. Yeah, that one. But
shout out to you.
And what was great about, and then even my sister, everyone just chipped in and helped.
Everyone
and
jumped in. It was no hesitation.
Yeah, and it just worked out. And for a mom, the wedding was beautiful. I mean, I couldn't have asked for anything else. I mean, it was wonderful.
Yeah,
it was beautiful.
So I feel like from bachelorette party to August, it must have been wedding prep, because I don't remember a lot in between.
Yeah, a lot of wedding prep. There's a lot of stress. Well, and then now you have a ton of new
and then we
roommates.
got to do the conference. But we got to go to the conference.
We did go to the
conference, which was one of the highlights.
in Denver.
It was the podcast movement conference. And just met so many great people and
learned so much. It was so fun.
I've been to conferences before, but never a podcast conference. And
yeah,
at one point, I looked around at Haas and I went, these are my people. Like, I just felt like, oh my gosh. And you could be wearing a ball gown or your flip-flops and cargo shorts, and nobody would treat you or look at you any different.
And everyone had the exact same issues, problems, concerns, cares, loves. Like, everyone you talked to was like, oh, I love this. I want to do this. And it was just such a supportive environment.
Yeah, not a lot of competition whatsoever. I mean, it was just great. And so that was fun.
It was so fun. We did get a little overwhelmed the first day.
The first day we were trying to get everything in, and we were like, we want to learn everything. And then at one point I looked at Haas, and she looked worse than I did. More overwhelmed.
I was a mess.
I said, wait, we just broke the first rule. It has to be fun. So we just we dispersed. We went on our way.
Take a breather.
And we both, took separate breathers, and we came back and we enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And
after that, I was fine, but they had 8 sessions every half hour, 8 different sessions every half hour.
You really had to choose.
Yeah, we had to choose, divide, and conquer.
Yeah. Oh, it was.
I wasn't able to go. I'm so sad.
And we did miss you. We were checking in with Otter, but
I work for the school system, and that was literally the second.
They didn't care about our.
That was the second week of school. There's just so much to get done in the first 2 months. There was no way I could.
And I totally got it, because also that's really important, I would think, Like
No, that's a
you want those
very
first 2
valuable
weeks
time.
to start out right.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or you're
right?
going to be fixing it for the rest of the semester.
And I work medical. I'm a nurse. So, if the kids don't have their EpiPens, someone could literally die.
Yeah. No, that's very true. It's a very important time.
But anyway, just to wrap it up for me, my summer was about family. I think it was great. And then we went to the conference, and then I wrapped up the summer with almost my entire family moving in with me.
Yeah.
Smarg has a revolving door at her house. Everyone just kind of comes and goes as they need to. And it's so kind and generous that her and Papa G open up the doors for us. Because
At this point, I think this might
And
be
we
the
do love
final
it.
door. This is
No, there's never a final door.
Okay, but this has
Never.
kind of been.
But we will say the Oak Studio and Godfrey Bread and Breakfast is at full capacity.
Yeah, no
we
more
have
vacancy.
something like 6 dogs
unfortunately.
and 8 people. One
under
of those
one
being a
roof.
baby. And the
Yeah.
baby's great. I love having a little monk here. That is pretty cool. However, it's different. So, loved my summer. Loved my summer, and I love it that people are living with us. It might be a little bit too much for Poppy G. But, nothing's permanent, right? So,
Right.
their new house is going to be built. They're going to be on their way. And we'll see what
Haas will be
happens next.
out of the way too.
Yeah.
We'll see what
Then
happens.
we got some
And
other.
life goes on. It's
Yep.
the circle of life.
Yep.
So yeah, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us and supporting us through season 1. And here we go, season 2.
Yeah, we can't thank you enough for everyone's support, because without you guys, we wouldn't be where we are today. So
And come on,
season 1
family,
was-
we know we're talking to you. Thank you, family. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
family.
And thank you for just being there for season 1. We're excited for season 2. If you guys have any recommendations or suggestions on what you want to hear for season 2, definitely don't hesitate to reach out via Gmail or Instagram, Facebook, whatever.
YouTube.
YouTube now.
the
We're on the YouTube.
Yeah. You're on
But
the
yeah, we're
tube.
excited for season 2. We hope you are too. And then we can also do our last new wash cycle.
Skid mark cycle.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And
So,
I don't know.
I
We
think
try
Simone
to
has
keep it
one.
real in the laundry room. And if you're keeping your laundry real, you can't tell me you've never encountered skid marks in the shorts.
So my skid mark story, as I had just mentioned, is I used to house sit a lot throughout college. House sit, dog sit. That's kind of how I got myself through college amongst a bunch of other jobs. But so this one house that I used to watch.
So how many other houses did you leave with pink laundry?
Just for you, Smarg. Just for you.
Oh, that makes me feel special. Continue.
So yeah, this house, gorgeous house. It's like weird because it's kind of in the suburbs, but it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. So suburby enough that you're like pretty close to like the grocery store, but the spaces in between houses are pretty big. So you have a lot of land. And this one house, I don't know, just windows everywhere, like the bedroom, the kitchen, the living room, like floor to ceiling windows, which is beautiful. Except one of the dogs had like torn down the blinds in the bedroom. And so one night I'm sleeping, and they have this private drive. And every time someone drives up the private drive, the dogs bark, as is very normal and common. And I wake up to the dogs barking at like 1 a.m, and I see this car drive up the private drive.
It's the SWAT team from Scottsdale.
Oh my God.
Well, and so I'm like, oh, okay, like maybe, sometimes people like get lost and they just turn
Right.
around. Nope, the car pulls behind the house and cuts the engine. And I'm skid mark moment. I'm shitting my pants. I'm
Oh.
like, what is going on? So I text the owner and I go, hey, were you expecting somebody? It's like 1:30 in the morning and a car just pulled up and turned off the car. And she goes, oh, yeah, yep, sorry. We're having a vehicle delivered and they're behind schedule. They were supposed to be there much earlier.
What?
And I'm, okay, A, that would have been really nice to know.
That's
No.
still
And
really
B,
sketchy.
I'm still freaking the F out.
Because you just saw one car come in.
Just one car come in.
So
It
if
might have
they're-
been a truck, you know what I
if
mean?
they're
But like,
dropping off. Oh,
I
but
think
you
it was
just
in
didn't-
I think it was a car that was like in a truck, like a big trailer type truck.
Okay.
But it's dark out. All I can see is headlights coming
Right,
up
'cause
the
you don't
drive, and then they wrap around the back of the house, which I can't see. But then I very clearly hear the engine cut. And so
Yeah.
that was scary. And that was only the first incident. The second, so after that, I learned to move to the bedroom upstairs with the dogs. So,
so it happened again at the same house, different time.
same house, different time.
Oh, wow.
Different incident.
Oh.
But I decided to move up to the bedroom upstairs because I didn't like that I could like see the private drive at night and that cars could see me. I didn't like it. I didn't feel secure. I get a phone call at 3 a.m. from the owner, and she goes, "Hey, is everything okay? The alarm company just called and said the alarms are going off." And I'm like, "No, what? What are you talking about?" And I don't I'm by myself. I don't want to go and like explore this big windowy house by myself.
Right.
So I'm like, "Well, I don't hear any alarms going off." And she's like, "Okay, it must have been like a false alarm." But to wake up like that at 3 a.m. when you're all by yourself in
and
this
then you
big
can't
house
go
in the middle of
back to
nowhere,
sleep.
and they're telling you, "Hey, are you okay? The alarm system's going off." So I mean, I don't know. That was definitely the first thing that came to my mind when you said skid mark.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Do you ever watch their house anymore?
I don't. I've actually cut down on my house sitting quite a bit now that I, have my own place and whatnot. But that was one house I stopped watching pretty early. That was one of the final straws, just because, I loved the house and the dogs and the people and everything, and I still talk to the people.
Mm-hmm.
But
it was too much. Yeah.
it was just
The
too much.
universe was telling you
The
something
universe was
different.
telling me something.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think this is for you.
Right.
So-
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah.
There you go. There is our first skid mark cycle.
Put
I
some
love
bleach
it.
on that, folks.
Put some bleach on that.
Skid. Why can't I not say it? Skid mark
You know what?
cycle.
Haas is going to work on it. And then on the next episode, she's going to say it 3 times very clearly.
I've been struggling. I've
Yeah.
probably spilled my beer 16 times since we've been sitting here. So I don't know what my deal is today. But anyway, we're off and running. And that was, this is the start of season 2.
It
so
is,
thank
and I'm
you
so
again.
excited. I'm so excited, and I'm so glad everybody had a happy, safe summer, and I'm glad we got to share it, and we're back together, and we're going to get back on our groove,
Yeah.
And that's a wrap.
and that's a wrap.
DLCC
Season
out.
2. Season 2. Okay. Thanks, guys. And we'll see you next week or in 2 weeks.
Problem solved. Hey, before we wrap up this spin cycle, Haas and I would like to give a quick shout out to those listeners who may be famous. We really do adore you, and even though you do not qualify as an NTRG, not the real guest, we would always love to hear from you. This is Smarg and Haas, keeping it sorted, keeping it real, from the family laundry room. Be safe, stay even, and remember, when in doubt, go half.
Thank you for listening to Dirty Laundry Clean Confessions. Follow us on Instagram at Dirty Laundry Clean Confessions. And if you would like to be the next Not the Real Guest, please email us at dirtylaundrycleanconfessions@gmail.com. We would love to air out the dirty laundry with you.